I've been doing beauty for 15 years, right? Now, when I tell men what I do for work, multiple sources have been like, that's a red flag. What?
Welcome back to Mindy, where we break down modern dating without the sugarcoating. Today's episode, men are walking away from marriage, and a lot of women can't understand why. We've got clips of divorced women, regret, confusion, hypocrisy, and men who finally said, no more. Let's get into it.
I love it when men say what you bring to the table. My darling, I bring souls. I bring life into this world. So no, baby, it's you. What do you bring to the table?
And here we go again with the I bring life into the world speech. Listen, men aren't asking, what do you bring to the table? Because they forgot women can give birth. They're asking because most modern men aren't looking for a baby incubator. They want a partner, effort, peace, loyalty, femininity, contribution, something besides entitlement. Saying I bring souls into the world doesn't answer the question. It avoids it. Men already know what biology brings. They're asking what you bring.
The society we're creating right now, more and more men don't want to get married. And I get why. There is almost zero upside for men getting married. This isn't me saying that men shouldn't get married, or women, but think about what society is telling men about what being a man is. Tell about society is fucking men hardcore for getting married. If you get married and you get divorced, a woman takes 50% of whatever you have. 80% of relationships, the man is the biggest provider. So that's a big fuck right off the bat. What are you getting in exchange for that? Second, if you have kids with her, you're fucked, because the government doesn't think that you deserve shit. So even good dads who try to stay in the kid's life are fucked. So there's a lot of men going, why the fuck would I do this? The good news is that will correct itself, because eventually then people start going, oh, right? When you create mistakes, you only create more error. Error creates more error. So we've gone so far the other direction that more and more men are going, like, why the fuck would I get married?
Here comes the marriage is a trap for men rundown. And honestly, he's saying what a lot of guys are thinking, but won't admit out loud. He's not wrong about the perception. Men see divorce courts, custody laws, child support horror stories, and they're like, why would I volunteer for this? The problem? Modern relationships stopped feeling like partnerships and started feeling like liabilities for men. Women still want commitment. Men still want connection. But the deal feels lopsided.
What possible argument could a woman have towards asking you to get a paternity test other than it makes her feel bad? Give me a single argument other than because it makes me feel bad. I want to hear it.
But why would you want to make her feel bad?
So that's I feel bad?
If you're worried that she'd be cheating on you, why would you even want to?
So that's I feel bad? It's I feel bad?
I'm saying clearly we don't have a strong foundation. Sorry.
That's I feel bad.
No, it's not. I'm saying we don't have a strong foundation.
Why would that matter if it didn't make one of them feel bad?
Because she could say, like, if we don't have a strong foundation of trust and faith.
Because she makes her feel bad.
No, she could feel neutral about it and still be like, oh, okay,
so
he
if
doesn't
she,
trust
so
me.
wait a second,
and
she
maybe
feels
he's
neutral?
gonna be constantly
If she
anxious
feels
this whole
neutral about it,
relationship.
if she feels neutral about it, then who cares?
Also, on a somewhat lighter note, to any of the red pill podcast bros who are constantly telling women that no one's going to want them when they get older, no one's going to want them if they're a single mother with children, no one's going to want them if they've been used up and been married multiple times or had multiple partners, that no one's going to want them if they're scantily clad, that no one's going to want them if they have a scandalous reputation, etc., etc., etc. No one's going to want them if they've had a lot of work done, da-da-da-da-da. Look, I'm not a fan of her, but 3 children, 2 baby daddies, 55 years old. And who did this woman land? The second richest man in the world?
Really? You're gonna use Jeffy Bezos as an example and you think you did something? By all means, continue the cringe.
By your logic, wouldn't he have gone for like the 22-year-old? Right? I don't know. The fresh, young, innocent girl. Isn't that what a man with so many options would have chose? And yet here we are. I will die on this hill. Men go for younger women because younger women are naive. And I'm sorry if you're a younger woman and you're seeing this and you may be personally attacked. I don't like it either. But when I was 22, I was a moron. And I could not see red flags. I'm 29 now, and no guy that I dated when I was 22 would I ever step foot in a room with.
One woman uses Jeff Bezos as proof men don't prefer youth. As if billionaires date by normal rules. Bezos didn't choose her because she's 55. He chose her because billionaire men play by billionaire dynamics. Meanwhile, regular men simply saying they prefer younger, less jaded women isn't an insult. It's biology and patterns, not Bezos's dating resume. Using an outlier to deny the trend is wild.
A lot of women, and this is not to trigger anybody, but I think a lot of women nowadays, they take like them doing their feminine nurturing role as like a type of oppression, and it's not. If I was married to any of you girls here and in the middle of the night I hear the door break open, I'm not gonna be like, all right, babe, it was your turn, equality, like go get him, you know? That's me going down there.
Very simply, beauty to men is like video games to women, and people are very judgmental of things they don't understand. So just like a woman might look at a guy who plays video games and think, oh great, he's lazy, he lacks motivation, he wastes his time with pointless things. A guy might look at a woman who prioritizes beauty and think, great, she's vain, she spends too much money, she wastes her time on pointless things. So just like a woman who doesn't play video games might not understand the social emotional advantages of team gaming, or the literary satisfaction of a good story arc, or even just the endorphin rush of a really good match, a lot of guys don't understand how much practical science goes into beauty. It's not that guys have a zero tolerance policy for women in the beauty industry, just like most women don't have a zero tolerance policy for guys who play video games. It's only when it's your number one priority that it becomes a red flag.
This woman actually makes a fair analogy, but she accidentally exposes the real point. Men don't judge beauty. They judge when beauty becomes a woman's whole personality, the same way women judge men when gaming becomes their entire life. Most men like beauty. Most women tolerate gaming. The issue isn't the hobby, it's when the hobby replaces the human.
To be honest, I'd rather just be a little lonelier than deal with all the hassle of dating. I'm really not in a place emotionally and financially where I can deal with sorting through a bunch of misses to find a missus. Nowadays, with dating apps, there's always something new and more exciting just around the corner. So many women I've dated have abruptly broken things off because they found something more exciting. Dating is like taking on a part-time job. I don't have the time or the energy. I'm sure all of you can relate to that. Social media, Hollywood, and porn have really altered the expectations of the general public across the board when looking for a mate. It's actually really messed up psychologically when a person thinks about it. Specifically, unrealistic expectations are held by people who conveniently hold themselves to extremely low standards but feel entitled to the best. More specifically, unrealistic expectations are held by people who act like victims when they're confronted with equally high expectations.
This woman basically summed up why modern dating feels like a burnout cycle. Everyone wants premium results while offering budget effort. Dating isn't hard because people are bad. It's hard because expectations are inflated. Attention spans are short, and accountability is non-existent. Honestly, a lot of people would rather be alone than compete in a marketplace where everyone thinks they deserve more than they give.
Men need to stop saying things like, what do you bring to the table? Hello, look at me. What do you mean, what do I bring to the table? First of all, look at me. Look at my social media. Look at what I do in the world. Read my writing. I bring so much to the table that the table broke. It broke under the weight of all the shit that I put on the table, that I brought to the table. Not to mention, like, the things I do on top of the table. It's not just me. It's like all the women I know. Not only are we bringing everything and more to the table and being hot while doing it, we are the table.
The question, what do you bring to the table, honey, was actually, what do you bring to the table that men care about? Okay. And maybe, yeah, the fact that you're an attractive woman. Okay. That's one little check in your box. That, by the way, gets negated if your personality sucks. Just letting you know. The rest of it, I didn't hear one thing that you brought to the table that men actually value. Are you loyal? You devoted? But what actually do you bring to the table that guys care about?
This is the perfect example of two people having two totally different conversations. The first woman lists everything she values about herself. Her looks, her work, her personality, her confidence. The second woman responds with what men actually prioritize in relationships: loyalty, kindness, cooperation, peace. Neither is wrong, but they're not speaking the same language. It's not women are the table, or men only want submission. It's simply that what women think men value isn't always what men actually value.
In Iceland, an energy company was about to go bankrupt. The manager came in and said, okay, we've got to throw everything out and start again, and made a conscious decision based on his belief that it's a human right that men and women are paid equally. Went out of his way to make the workforce within that company 50-50 in terms of men and women being represented. So we're talking about engineers, we're talking about tradespeople, we're talking about in workshops, we're talking at the managerial level.
If you hire 50% women engineers and 50% male engineers, then the women engineers are less qualified because the pool of engineers is lower among women. Look, you think about it mathematically. If there's 10 times as many male engineers as there are female engineers, and you insist upon hiring 50-50, then obviously the degree to which the female engineers are proficient cannot be the same as the degree to which the male engineers are proficient. It's mathematically impossible.
This is a classic case of ideals versus outcomes. The manager's goal gender, parity, is noble in principle. Equal pay and equal representation. But as the man points out, forcing a 50-50 split without accounting for the actual talent pool can lead to mismatched proficiency. It's not about women being less capable in general. It's about numbers and statistics. If the pool of female engineers is smaller, hiring strictly 50-50 can unintentionally lower the average qualifications of the group. This shows that good intentions don't always equal optimal results, and policy decisions need to consider both fairness and practical realities.
Who has it harder, men or women?
It's men by a mile in every
Really,
arena.
you would truly believe that?
In every arena of life, they have it harder. I can tomorrow be unemployed, and there will be a man in my life at some point that will say, I'll look after you, whether that's my dad, my brother, or my partner. Somebody will say, a man can absolutely hate his job, hate his appearance, have terrible relationships with his family, and not one person, no one's coming, no one's saving him.
Nobody.
And it's
all up to him.
Yeah, because one thing I've noticed is, for me personally, if I'm forcing myself out of bed in the morning to go to work, I'll just say, I don't like this job, I'm quitting. And then I think there's men out there who have that experience all day, every day, up until they're 70 years old, and think if they don't go to work, kids don't eat. And there's women that experience that too. But the pressure on a man is completely different. Completely different.
The point about men not having a safety net. No one stepping in if they struggle emotionally, financially, or socially, is striking. Unlike women, whose challenges are often more visible and socially acknowledged, men's hardships are less supported, yet the stakes are extremely high. Work, family, and societal expectations. It's a reminder that pressure and responsibility aren't equal, and conversations about gender struggles need to consider these differences.